Good afternoon, all of you. I think the time allocated has been brought down a little bit. So, with such a large and eminent group of thinkers, I will in advance apologize if I cut you short somewhere. And I think we should try to keep it as short as possible. And so, looking at the time frame, I don't think we can really go into an in-depth discussion on these issues. But based on some of the stuff that was said in the morning by the other speakers and in the inaugural session, a lot of points were touched upon for technology itself. But more than technology, they looked at what it can do, and they looked, they talked about content, infrastructure, evaluations, and then I think one of the emphasis was also on the quality. So I will invite each one of you to basically comment on some of these things. So shall we start with Mr. Murthy? What do you think? Because he has been working in the knowledge area, and I think language processing is one of your key areas, if I'm not mistaken. So he's also part of the National Knowledge Commission also. So what do you think would be the key areas to touch upon, especially where content and ICTs are concerned?
Thank you, Mr. Rajanwada. Dignitaries on the dais and ladies and gentlemen. It's my privilege to be here to discuss some of the issues related to the infrastructure and the activities and initiatives of the government. On the first, I'll talk about DIT, Department of IT, where I belong, is constantly discussing lies with NASSCOM and other industry associates and identify the emerging gaps and needs of the industry in various IT sector, and identifying some of the areas where the immediate manpower is requirement is there, and there is a gap between the formal sector to come out of with quickly some solutions of generating manpower, identifying such areas and then generating our own schemes for generating manpower in that area. That is one of the initiatives that we take out. So one of the things that I'm talking about is the major initiative that we have started very recently is the establishment of a national knowledge network. This network aims to interconnect all the institutions of higher learning, universities and research labs of DRDO, CSIR and then other DAE labs in the country, all the 400 universities with a high speed, low latency gigabit network. The speeds in each of the campuses will get more than a gigabit, at least to begin with 1 gigabit in each of the university campus that you are going to get. This is the infrastructure that we are going to establish within the next 24 months. And the project has been approved very recently in the March on 25th by the Cabinet. It is a 5,990 crore project over a period of 10 years. The rollout will be completed within another 2 years or 24 months. And we are planning to establish at least 25 points of presence across the country, the core network. The core network will be consisting of around 25 to 70 POPs points of presence. The backbone for this will be around 10 gigabit network to begin with, and it will scale up to 40 gigabit to 100 gigabit as the technology in the world over advances. And this network also takes care of all the needs of various people in the country, various institutions, bandwidth needs of this, and which comes across. There are a core network and a distribution network, and distribution nodes are there, and also to the edge side. So depending on the bandwidth needs of each of the institution, they can be connected at any of this point. And this is highly scalable, completely geographical coverage, and we are taking the bandwidth from multiple NLDs so that the availability will be there. And the core of the network is completely meshed, fully meshed network. And from there, each of the sites we are having redundant lines from the 2 or 3 different NLDs, so that the bandwidth availability will be there 24/7 and 365 days. And coming to the another aspect of this network, in collaboration with MHRD's program of NMEICT, we are working. From the department, we are providing the infrastructure, and NMEICT program of National Mission on Education through ICT program of MHRD will focus mainly on the content development. That content will ride on the network. This NKN not only provides all the infrastructure for the education institution, it also can act as a backbone for other networks as well, like SWANS, e-governance network, and other networks are AnuNet and CSRNet and other net. So the advantage is it acts as a high-speed backbone for the entire country. And so any of these smaller networks in an isolated manner with the low bandwidth they are doing it, they can terminate their traffic within the state headquarters or in the local places and ride on NKN as a final endpoint. And we are using the advanced technologies of lambda networking technologies, and so that we will get higher bandwidths and low latencies. And along with it, NMEICT work also works on the focus on the content development. So this is a major leapfrog paradigm shift in the infrastructure availability for the education sector in this country. So with this, what we are aiming at, some of the applications are in the areas of agriculture, e-governance, health, and telemedicine. These are the applications that we are talking about. In addition to that, we are using another major application of climate change and grid computing, which uses this high-speed network as one of these. And one of the application you already established countrywide classroom is a concept. As a proof of concept, we have established 6 virtual classrooms in the IITs. Of IIT Chennai and IIT Hyderabad, the Chennai lectures are directly telecast to these institutions. There are 6 virtual classrooms have been established using this high-speed network. So those are some of the initiatives from the government side which I am taking out. Maybe next time again I will intervene and then talk about that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Murthy. I think some of you may be wanting to discuss deeper later, and you could always go offline with some of these questions. You did, make us aware about the infrastructure support, which is very crucial for ICTs in the country today, because we're talking about bandwidth and availability of lines across. Also faced with the power problems that we face in the country. So there are extreme challenges. So we can have the best infrastructure, but we also need to switch the power on to go there. So taking that into consideration, I'll invite Professor Chowdhury to say a few words on how would you look at leveraging technology for teacher training on this.
Thank you very much. I'll be talking about utilization of ICT as a teacher educator working in National Council for Teacher Education. I know that ICT, and since morning we have been talking about that ICT has a lot of potential in terms of facilitating learning, initiating higher order thinking, and even the best teacher can be made available throughout the country. And we can provide, as we have just listened to the presenter in the session, interactivity, and we can create a creativity. I agree with all the potential that technology has, and it can do wonder. I also believe in this. And 2 decades ago, or 1.5 decades ago, we, the teacher or teacher educator, used to talk, why should we use technology? Perhaps in 15 years or 20 years, the scenario has changed, and now we are started talking about how to use ICT effectively. This is a change that has taken place in last 15 or 20 years. When we used to raise question on the potentiality, effectiveness,